From cosmic hope to psychological horror. Revisiting Danny Boyle's Sunshine, while recent sci-fi hits like Project Hail Mary offer audiences a sense of wonder and bromance, in the face of solar catastrophe, Danny Boyle's 2007 film Sunshine takes a much darker, more unsettling path. Both stories share a common premise. The survival of humanity depends on fixing a malfunctioning sunbutt where one finds optimism. The other finds psychological disintegration and terror. A different kind of space opera, unlike the uplifting tone of modern space adventures. Sunshine is an unashamedly grim affair. Rather than focusing on the triumph of human ingenuity, the film leans heavily into the tropes of psychological horror. The narrative follows an 8-person crew aboard the Icarus II, tasked with a desperate mission: delivering a massive explosive payload to the sun to reignite its fusion reactions before Earth freezes. However, the mission is derailed when the crew decides to investigate a distress call from a previous vessel, the original Icarus. This decision sets off a chain of catastrophic events, transforming a scientific mission into a fight for survival against both mechanical failure and human madness. The alien influence and scientific grounding Danny Boyle has never been a director of traditional, family-friendly space operas. Having navigated genres ranging from the visceral zombie thrills of 28 Days Later to the musical charm of Yesterday, Boyle has always favored eclecticism. His approach to Sunshine clearly reveals an affinity for Ridley Scott's Alien. The film borrows several key atmospheric elements from the sci-fi classic: tense group dynamics, stressed astronauts debating survival around a dinner table, the fatal detour, a decision to answer a distress call that leads to disaster, psychological breakdown, the shift from hard science to a sense of cosmic dread. To ground the high-concept premise, the filmmakers consulted physicist Brian Cox. The film's scientific explanation for the sun's decline involves Q-balls, hypothetical supersymmetric particles that could theoretically consume a star from the inside. While the premise borders on the fantastical, this attempt at scientific legitimacy helped distinguish the film from standard disaster movies. An ensemble of emerging stars at the time of production in 2005, Sunshine featured a cast of largely unknown actors who would later become major Hollywood figures. This equal footing allowed the director more creative freedom. Without massive stars to protect, the script could treat the ensemble with the brutal indifference common in horror cinema. The cast included Cillian Murphy, who had recently gained fame in 28 Days Later; Michelle Yeoh, an established talent known for her Bond roles; Chris Evans, long before his tenure as Captain America; Rose Byrne, Benedict Wong, and Hiroyuki Sanada, all of whom have since become industry stalwarts. To prepare for the roles, the cast underwent unique training, including flights to experience weightlessness and living in cramped student accommodations to simulate the claustrophobia of long-term space travel. The shift into horror. A double-edged sword. The film's most controversial element is its final act. As the mission falls apart due to technical errors, such as the failure to readjust heat shields, the story shifts from a scientific thriller into a metaphysical horror film. The introduction of a space psycho, a former commanding officer, who has lost his mind during his isolation moves the film into the territory of Event Horizon. While some critics found this shift into religious mania and supernatural dread to be a step too far, others noted that it tapped into the genuine psychological isolation experienced by astronauts. We can't possibly know the effects of traveling so close to the sun. Cliff Curtis on the psychological toll of deep space. Conclusion: Sunshine remains a polarizing piece of science fiction that trades the comfort of heroism for the discomfort of the unknown. While it may lack the polished optimism of contemporary sci-fi, its blend of hard science and psychological terror offers a haunting look at the fragility of the human mind when faced with the infinite.